Hey, and welcome back. If this isn't back for you, this is my channel, and we are in the middle of a book club. Well, starting a book club? Maybe? Yes we are. If you want to join in the book club, we are reading Paper Towns by John Green. This guy, right here. If that's something that you want to partake in reading with me and everyone else on this channel, maybe, then you can stop the video, subscribe, just so you know you can come back. Stop the video, go out and pick up a copy of the book at the library, a bookstore, friend's house, sneak in, pull a Margot if you know what I mean. Margot is a character in the book. You'll find out about that if you go pick up the book. So go pick up the book, click subscribe, or just keep the browser up. Well, click subscribe, keep the browser up, the video up, and go get the book and then come back here. Well, okay. Read the first 100 pages, then come back here. And then start from this point, because you don't want to watch again, but... Okay. Go get Paper Towns, read it along with us. Now, for those of you who have read the first little section that I designated for us, that is chapter 3, up to chapter 3 of part 2. Let's get started. So, the book starts back in the day when the main character was younger, or at least it's like a flashback to Quentin when he's younger. And him and his friend Margot, who's also his neighbor, go bike riding, and they go up to their park and they find a dead man under the tree. Margot says a little thing about how it's just like his strings finally broke and he's dead, and so then it cuts and flashes forwards to present day time where they're in school. Margot and Quentin, even though they're still neighbors, aren't necessarily friends anymore. They don't hate each other, they're just kind of there. Margot's popular, Quentin's not. Whatever, life happens. So we meet up with Quentin at school. He has his own friends and whatever, sees Margot. You still kind of catch that sense that he likes Margot, maybe more than just being her neighbor for X amount of years. But yeah, Margot doesn't really notice him. She has her own problems, whatever. That night, Margot comes to Quentin's window and gets Quentin riled up and woken up and convinces him to take her on this wild goose chase of tasks for revenge on her friends, but not really friends. And they do some pretty bad things, which we'll get back to, and then break into SeaWorld. Then they part their ways and Margot says something along the lines of, "I'll miss hanging out with you." And Quentin's like, "Yo, why? We go to the same school. We can probably hang out. You live next door to me." And then, whatever. Done. Next morning, Quentin goes to school. Margot's not there. And that's kind of where we are in the book right now. Margot is nowhere to be seen. Quentin is kind of not really worried about her because she kind of disappears a lot. I feel like that was a really bad point for me to put the ending, but hey, I haven't read the book. I didn't know at what point would be a good place to stop. Maybe if I looked and saw like there was a nice little section, I could have just stopped at the end of the part 1, the strings part, but you know what, I didn't think that far ahead. This is my first time, whatever. But yeah, it's kind of like a weird place to just stop, so I'm sorry for that. Let's get into the stuff. I will just start by saying I really am liking this book. Not only because I am a huge John Green fan, but it actually brings me to my first point. I really like how he has been able to kind of introduce the character of Quentin to us. Not necessarily by going out and straight up telling us who Quentin is, but how he relates to Margot and tells us about Margot. I feel really gives us the most information about who Quentin is. We get all of his character attributes and who he is based on Margot and how he deals with situations with Margot, which I think is really cool and kind of, I guess, different from books I've read. I don't know. Yeah, so Quentin himself, I think, is a nice character for telling the story. It really gives a nice contrast to Margot, who is kind of out there and crazy and fun and cool and this great person that we see, maybe, or at least we get that picture from Quentin and how he talks about her. And so yeah, it's a nice balance between the two. The very beginning, I really liked how it started off with the idea of a miracle and everyone gets one miracle. I don't know what that necessarily says for the book. I want to know what, if he brings in that throughout the book. It hasn't really happened so far, other than the idea that Quentin's miracle was meeting Margot. I want to see if Margot's miracle in her life, or if we see like Ben's miracle or Radar's miracle or some kind of other miracle, or if it was just kind of a really strong opening statement. So by the third chapter, we kind of have like a sense of everyone, or at least a little bit of the characters and who Margot is and who Quentin is and what life is for them. And that's when Margot comes and kind of sneaks into Quentin's room and steals him away for the night, and takes him to kind of accomplish her plan, her master plan, her 11-part plan. I don't know. I feel like just in the book it escalated to that really quickly. It's really nice that the book is speeding along that fast, but we don't really have a sense of anyone else in the book, which I guess does help us get a sense for the people throughout her plan. It really kind of takes into each of the people that were in her life that kind of she wanted in her life or didn't want in her life, or kind of messed up her life to an extent. But yeah, it's kind of happened really fast, and I also feel that we don't have a basis of her rationalizing the parts of her plan, like with the whole putting fish into rooms and doors and under cars and everything. Like, I understand that Jace cheated on her, or was cheating on her, with her best friend, which definitely is not the best thing to happen, but I feel that we didn't really see a build-up of her character to see her just blow off and freak out and put together this massive plan, 11-part plan in which she does get revenge. Other parts that of her kind of part plan that I found a little weird is the extent she goes through to really get at each of these people. Like, it wasn't just, oh, get Jace to run out naked, take a picture, that's humiliating. But then she goes in and puts the fish in the room and spray paints on walls and breaks people's cars and spray paints on those, and it really goes to an nth degree, which I hope is kind of a foreshadowing for what's to come. Maybe this was her last hurrah, and she is going to maybe sleep with the fishes that she was putting in the people's room and car, and hopefully this is a little bit of foreshadowing. That's kind of what I'm looking at it to be. Definitely when she keeps scrawling out, soon you'll be sleeping with the fishes and all that sort of stuff. I really hope that it's more than her just throwing fish into people's house because she thinks it's funny or it smells, or she thinks it's a good way of revenge. So that's what I'm kind of looking forward to. Other thing that I really want as like something to come kind of play back into the book during the trials is the blue finger that both her and Quentin had after spray painting the M's. They each had the blue finger. I really want to see that become something else in the book. Hopefully we see, I don't know, someone gets caught, or does that make sense? I don't know. This is kind of all over the place, and I'm really sorry if this is hard to follow. But yeah, summarizing, we meet the characters. We find out Margot has, I think, probably been concocting this plan for more than we assume. Or maybe she's just that crazy and just really wants to go buck wild on everyone. We saw the plan take action, and now Margot's missing. As for where I want to see the book go, I want to see everyone's miracle or somebody's miracle kind of come through to fruition other than just Quentin's and meeting Margot. I want to see something happen with the fishes, also the M's, the spray paint, and the spray painted finger. Those are what I really kind of am looking for. Maybe I've kind of put my eggs in those baskets as the foreshadowing, but I feel like they've come up quite a few times already in the book that hopefully it does come off. One other thing is where I'm at in the book or where we're at, I really am kind of nervous that John Green has killed Margot off, which I'm kind of would be really upset if she did, or if he did. Not only because she's spunky and fun and crazy, but when the movie comes out June 5th, July 5th? June 5th. Something 5th. June or July 5th. If Cara Delevingne is only in it for that short amount of time, I will probably be heartbroken. Anyways, so if you liked this video, comment, like, subscribe, tell me what you think about this book, where it's going, what you want to see happen, what you think of Margot or Quentin or any of the other characters in the book. If I missed out on something that you're like, oh, how could you not see this? Comment below, write that in there, then also click subscribe and just click the like, because like you're already typing and clicking, you might as well just click all over, just not the thumbs down button. For next Friday, we are reading to chapter 17 of part 2, which in my copy of the book is about 209, I believe it. Yeah, it's right at the beginning of chapter 17, so finish off chapter 16 and then stop at chapter 17. We'll regroup, hopefully have a bigger conversation, see where my thoughts of the book go, see where yours go, and yeah, hopefully continue this. See you later. Alligators. How I said see you later, alligator, in the last video. And alligators, they're in Florida. Alligators, what? I am too good. See you later, alligator.